When reading situations, sometimes it's important to know how to get the equation to be solved by using the information that is given. So today in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use reading and skills of mathematics to convert a situation into an equation and then solve it. So the objective is for you to learn how to read a situation and convert it into an equation. There are many ways in which you can do or in which you can convert any situation into equations to be solved or into another forms like bars to be solved. But we're not going to use bars. We're going to use like reading, and by reading we're going to get the situation. So I suggest you to pause this video right now and read the situation that I'm showing here, because now after I continue, I'm going to show how after you read the situation many times, we can get the information, and with the information we can get our result. So first thing that I recommend for you to do in any situation is to try to identify which one is the unknown value. Unknown. So this is the first thing that you should ask every time you're working on a situation. Where is or what is the unknown value? So the unknown value is gonna tell you what is this variable that you want to know. Maybe it's an L, maybe it's an X, maybe it's an S. Sometimes we can have more than one, and this is something that you can get by reading the situation. But let's see in the situation where is the unknown value. So if you read the situation, you can see that at the end it says find the length of the shorter piece of the wire. So we need to find out the unknown. We're gonna call it S, that is the shorter piece of the wire. This is what we have to know. Or of the cable, sorry. Now, after we have the unknown, now we got to find out the data given. So what is the data that is given so you can solve for your situation? So to find out the data, the only thing that I suggest, the only thing that I ask you to do, or the only thing that I suggest you to do, is just to read the problem from the beginning and try to identify where is a data given, where in which point you have data given. And the data, in this case, we're gonna use it in two parts. One is data that is given, I mean numbers, variables whose value is actually given, or maybe a relations given. So in data I'm going to put not only the values that I have, but also I'm going to put all the relations that I found out. So if you read the situation, you can see that you have the distance, or it says the cable 20 feet long. So if you read the situation many times, you will find out that 20 feet is going to be the total length of the cable. Total length of the cable. And then, if we continue reading, you will see that it's cut in two pieces. So, if there's a shorter piece, there will be a longer piece. Okay, so if you read it many times, you will see that you have two pieces, like longer piece and a shorter piece. The shorter piece will be S. And then it says the length of one piece, is, so length of one piece, let's say that the length of one piece is X, maybe, is, so is, when you read is, it will be equal, and it says then 2/3. So 2/3 is a number, 2/3 of is multiplication, so times, okay, I'm going to put a point, the length of the other piece. 2/3 the length of the other piece. So I'm going to put L. Observe that if you multiply a number by 2/3, the answer will be smaller. So I find out that this X is just going to be my S, my shorter piece. Right? Because this length times 2/3 is going to give a number that is less. So I'm going to have S. So what I'm having here is that S, my shorter piece, is just 2/3 of the longer piece. Okay, longer piece, I'm going to call it L. So this is what you have here to determine your relation. Observe that I just have read everything to get my unknown and my data. So using the unknown, by reading, I found out that the unknown is the length of the shorter piece. I just call it S. And by reading the data, I found out that the total length of the cable is 25 feet. I found out that it's divided in two pieces. So in this case will be shorter piece and longer piece. And I found out that the shorter piece is 2/3 of the length. So finally, I need to find out the relation. But observe that the relation is given already because it says that the total length of the wire, and the wire is divided in two parts, is 25 feet. So I just need to tell that the longer piece plus the shorter piece is going to give you 25 feet. Okay, so I'm giving the answers in feet. But the question is to find out the shorter piece. So I just need to put L in terms of the shorter piece so I can find out what is the total value. So I'm just going to solve here using equations the shorter piece. Remember that if you want to solve, you can divide by 2/3 by the coefficient or multiply by the reciprocal. And we just have that the longer piece is going to be 3/2 of the shorter piece. Now you have the longer piece in terms of the shorter piece, so I just need to put it in my equation. 3/2 of the shorter piece plus my shorter piece equals 25. And now this is an equation to solve. Remember that if you want to solve an equation, you just need to think of basic ideas. The first idea is to simplify the expressions the most you can. If you have parentheses, I recommend you, if you're starting, if you're newbie, so I recommend you to simplify parentheses, simplify like terms, just provide a single equation, and when you have a single equation, if it's needed, group terms, and after group terms, simplify. In this case, we're just going to simplify the expression. So we're going to simplify the expression. 3/2 of S plus S. So I'm just going to do this just for you to remember that this is a 1 multiplied by S, and I can rewrite it as 2/2. So 3 plus 2 is going to be 5. So I got 5/2 of S equals 25. And I can just divide by 5/2. Okay, so divide by 5/2. Remember, again, that dividing by a fraction is just multiplying by the reciprocal. So I got S equals 2/5 times 25. I'm just going to simplify this 5 with this 25. And I have 5 times 2. S is going to be 10. 10 feet, of course. Okay, so the shorter piece is 10 feet. The shorter piece is 10 feet long. And as you can see here, now I just solve the equation by simplifying like terms and divide by the reciprocal. This is how you can see and solve these type of situations. Just let's remember what we did. Just remember what we did. First, my recommendation is for you to read many times the situation. And after you read many times the situation, find the unknown value. In this case, the unknown value was in the question, and I put a name on it, like S, a shorter piece of the cable. After I do that, I read my situation, and using like the step-by-step that they're showing me, I'm going to find out relations or find out the data. So in this case, I found out that the data is the total length of the cable. I found out that it's divided in two parts that are not equal, because it says that one piece is 2/3 of the other piece. So I know that they are not equal. So I got the relation that it's the addition of two different values. I found out the longer piece. I found out the shorter piece and the relation between these two. That is, one piece is 2/3. The of is multiplication, is equal the length of the other piece. It's important that you remember what are these keywords that help you to know what is the operation given. And after you have the relations, just use the relations to find the equation to be solved, and then solve the equation. And this is how you can finish and you can work on exercises in which you have to solve equations. I hope that this video helped you. I hope that you understand how to do these type of situations. Try to do other situations, try to read more situations. Let me know any comment, like this video if you understand. If not, it would be nice if you write me a question so I can answer it. And see you in the next video. Bye bye.